Hello, hello. Good to have you all of here. We are about to start our presentation about how to release overwhelm. So good to have all of you, people from Brazil, United States, Philippines. It's so good to be able to share with you a little bit of my knowledge. Here we have a brief presentation of overwhelm. And I'm very excited you're here and taking this first step towards finding some peace and freedom to really get you the best out of life. My hope is that at the end of this session, you feel a little bit lighter and more focused than when you started. Today, I'm going to share a few things you can start doing right now to ease the overwhelm, the anxiety, the confusion that might be weighing you down. In this session, we will talk about how to beat decision fatigue and the fear of missing out things, way to stop getting stuck in overwhelm and procrastination, and also the power of focusing on truly matters and create new helpful thoughts. You just know how life can change when you know how to handle overwhelm. So let's dive into it, shall we? My name is Bettina Pflug, and I'm an international coach dedicating in guiding people through their personal and professional growth. I bring with me a rich tapestry of experience from various corners of the globe. I was born and raised in Brazil. I think Patricia is also from Brazil. Then I ventured abroad in the United States, Germany, Switzerland to study and to work, observing diverse cultures and practices. This journey not only shaped my coaching methods, but also deepened my understanding of personal transformation across different cultural backgrounds. I hold a degree in hospitality and have further enriched my education portfolio with an MBA from the University of Toronto. My commitment to self-improvement and empowerment led me to attain certifications in coaching from renowned institutions, equip me with a wide array of strategies to help others succeed. And I hope this presentation today will help you succeed in life as well. Over the years, I work in various sectors, including the nonprofit sector that I love. Let me turn here. As I mentioned to you, I love working with nonprofits, and I was honored to really work with like-minded people leading organizations that really change the world. I have some skills in strategic decision and public speaking, and more importantly, in understanding human dynamics, also in business and personal context. That's why I was sharing a bunch of pictures of my clients. I don't like to brag about myself. I rather you listen to the people who have been through my coaching sessions to tell you how enriching was that experience. So if you have some time, go to my YouTube channel later on and check out the reviews that are there. Some entrepreneurs, some spouses of expats, some expatriates, some nonprofit leaders, and maybe you find a connection with them and would like also to start your own journey. Let's embark on this path together, unlocking your full potential of achieving the success you deserve. And I think dealing with overwhelm is one of the most important things that we should do in our lives because it's so present. So here you have the picture of some of my clients. And why I'm sharing about overwhelm, I was no stranger to overwhelm. This was back in 2017 when I was living in Colorado. At that time, my life was crazy. I was the CMO of a Salesforce implementation partner in the United States, working with nonprofits. I also had a role as a scout leader, was working so much. And also during weekends, I used to work with my dog as a therapy dog in a hospital, a UC Health hospital. Took us normally 3 hours to go on the 5 floors visiting all the patients. So I was really packed of things that I was doing. Then I decided to start developing myself as a coach. And a tool that so many others was helped was getting out of overwhelm. And I want to bring it more peace in my life. And everything that I learn, I apply to my life, and I would like to share with you today. I learned to start living my life more intentionally, efficiently, and really on my own terms without overwhelm. I'm going to explain what most people think causes overwhelm. And sometimes we think that what causes overwhelm is everything that's happening in your life. For example, your busy life with your kids, preparing your kids to go to school, or also handling your work overload, thinking about finances, all those things you think they cause us overwhelm. But what really causes overwhelms is not the facts that are around you. It's not true. What causes overwhelm is the emotions, the feelings in our bodies, the vibration of our body. That's what's an emotion. Let me share with you the slides that really explains what people think overwhelm is. So the traditional definition of overwhelm is to turn over, to be upset, to pour down upon, cover another bury beneath, to present with excessive amount of things, to surge over, submerge, to engulf, overcoming and taking over complexity. That's the traditional definition of overwhelm. But what I would like to understand, it's another understanding of overwhelm. So the first layer we have are the circumstances. This is what I was explaining to you. Remember, the circumstances. Me being a scout leader, me being a CMO of a Salesforce implementation partner, being a therapy dog handler. Those are circumstances that happens in our lives. But the circumstances, they lead us to have some thoughts. And the thoughts generate feelings in our bodies, emotions and vibrations that word cannot describe. And those thoughts generate feelings in our bodies. The feelings generate actions, and the actions generate results. So what causes overwhelm in us are not the circumstances, but the thoughts we have around the circumstances in our lives. So what can we do to get out of overwhelm? Does it happen with you as well? Overwhelm is not something that happens to you, that everyone thinks. It's something that recreated by our thoughts. So it's so important that I just want to share with you one more time. Overwhelm is not something that happens to you. It's something you create with your thoughts. And what are the thoughts that will keep you in overwhelm? The first thought that keeps us in overwhelm is the black and white thinking in extremes. Our brain has this tendency to see the word either or mode. And this type of thinking really makes us feel overwhelmed. An example of this type of thinking would be, this is too much for me to handle. I just can't do it. I would never get it done. Our world is not a place of either or. Our world is full of shades of gray. So when we think this is too much for me to handle, that thought is a black and white thinking. Our brain sees this as if we can't handle it all, we can give it a try. And this is not true, because maybe we can handle 75% of it. Maybe we can handle 90% of it. Maybe we can only handle 50% of it. But the thing is that we can handle something. And we need to start taking actions to get out of overwhelm. But this black and white thinking is what causes us to stress and be confused and keep us in overwhelming. The second kind of thought that keeps us in overwhelming is the should thinking. Should statements are thoughts that define what we think we should do. It's our brain way of saying the expectations of ourselves. We set these expectations to ourselves, but we don't take into consideration all the circumstances on an average day. A should statement can motivate us, like this one. Oh, I should fill up my car with gas so I don't run out of it in the middle of the highway. That will be motivating. Normally, yes. But it can cause us overwhelm. In the world of should, we just become paralyzed by using should all the time. Here are some should thoughts that you might experience. I should be able to balance everything on my schedule. I should wake up early because that's what productive people do. I should go to the gym a minimum 5 times a week. And remember, this together with black and white thinking. Maybe you can go 1 time, 2 times. I like this to call the statements shooting ourselves. Yes. When we shoot ourselves, we judge ourselves on those false assumptions. We think that everyone else can do better and faster than us. Or we think that there is a certain way that we have to do in order to get 100% right. And the should statement stop us being helpful. When it stops to being motivational and it's followed by expectations, that when your should statement creates overwhelm and stress in our lives. So pay attention on shooting yourself. The next kind of thought that keeps us in overwhelm is perfectionist thinking. It's debilitating it in a sense of overwhelm because it's really a kind of perpetuate the cycle of feeling overwhelmed. It's paralyzing and it stops you from achieving what you really want. And it's quite frankly exhausting, you know. Perfectionist thoughts makes you focus on every single detail. You just get so focused on the little details that you lose focus on the end goal. We set these really high, rigid, impossible standards to reach, and then you become so overwhelmed and stressed by the demand of perfectionists that you are unable to even start the task. You get afraid of doing because you're not going to do it perfectly. Perfectionist thinkers fear failure. They never follow through on what they want to achieve because they're so scared of failing. And I have definitely been there. So I know how hard it is. Here are some thoughts and examples of perfectionist thinking. I don't know how to do it. I might mess up, so I will never get it right. When people think that way, most people don't even start. Another kind of thought. Anna is working full-time, she's taking care of her parents, she's doing all perfectly. Why can't I do it perfectly? That's when you're comparing yourself to someone else. Then our brain starts to look for all these evidences of why you are struggling, and then you feel even more overwhelmed. Another example is this one. This email needs to be perfect. So you spend 1 hour and a half that may be taking normally 15 minutes to write the email. But you want this email to be perfect. When you have this perfectionist thinking, you put so much pressure on yourself that you don't even start things. Or you take so much time doing an easy task that your time frames to get all of your other things done shorten. Then your list gets longer and longer and you start panicking, and all of this is what you perpetuate this feeling of overwhelm. So stop having those perfectionist thinking. The next one is people-pleasing thoughts. This kind of thoughts definitely create overwhelm. So when you are thinking in terms of people pleasing someone else, really stop doing it if you can. Instead of thinking in terms of what you have to do or what you want to do, you think about what's important to others. And this causes the problem. You can end up with this long list of to-do of someone else's priorities. And then you're not doing on or working on your own list of things. I've definitely done this with my kids. I would take on their tasks because I want them to think I'm a good mom. For example, in scouting, I did a lot of that. My kids were supposed to get ready for the sessions, the meetings, and I was the one doing the things for them. I was so busy, but I even found time to do their things instead of mine. This is a people-pleasing thought. An example is that I can say no to my coworkers because then they will think I'm not a team player. In that case, you take on more work, right? And then you can do your own tasks. It's harder for you when you perpetuate this kind of thing in your work environment. Another thought is, I don't want to go to that party, but I'm afraid they will never invite me again. So you still do it. You go, even if you don't want it. So you end up putting yourself in all those things on your social calendar that you don't want to do it, and maybe you don't have the time to do it because you're afraid that you can be rejected by other people or how the people might feel if you don't come. In summary, you can become overwhelming social issues, work issues, life in general, but just remember, it's not our to-do list. It's not our social calendars. It's not our kids. It's not our sick parents that are making us overwhelmed. It's how we think about all those things. It's the thoughts that create the overwhelm in our lives. How can you relate with some of those thoughts? Do you have them constantly? Please post it here on the chat. Thank you so much. Rosalie, it's nice to have you here as well. Patricia, Nelia. Do you capture yourself having this black and white thinking, this should thinking, this perfectionist thinking, or people please thinking? That's very common. And how can we get rid of overwhelm? The secret, it lies on constraint and discipline. Now we're going to talk about some of the tools and techniques to handle our overwhelm. If you have too much to do or don't know how to start something, maybe you think you can do it all well enough, the tip number 1, start to take action. How is that possible? I recommend you just to start with one thing. I love doing the thought download. So once a week, I prepare myself to organize my week. And the way I do it, I write down all the thoughts that I have, everything that I need to do. And then I just choose 5 things a day. Only 5 things that I'm able to execute. And if I'm not able to execute them, the next day I only choose 5 things. I only go to my list and increase the number of things I'm planning to do if I finish those 5 things. So constraint and discipline is one of the secrets that might help you do less but better things. So step number 1, remember I was talking about the thought download? I really recommend my clients to do the weekly review. It's when you look everything that has passed on your week and then you redefine your priorities to the following one. You organize all the activities you're gonna do and then you select 5 activities every day, 5 tasks to accomplish every day. Once you're ready to execute this task, Just choose one task. Normally people have a lot of browsers open on their computer, and what I recommend is close it down, focus on this one task and get it done. Commit to spending a certain amount of time. I do have here a timer on my desk, and I would like to show it to you. This is the timer that I have. So what I do when I start doing a task, I just press start, and I give myself a certain time to execute this task. And commit to execute the task on the time. And if you not finish it, that's okay. You can extend if you wish, but aim for a B, not for an A. Focus on only one task that you have chosen to work. Try to avoid any kind of distraction. Discipline yourself to keep taking action on the task until the time goes off. If you have a lot of tabs open on your computer, or maybe if you have your phone close to you, a WhatsApp message will come in. Or for example, now I'm here interacting with you, maybe my dog might bark, I will get distracted. Every time you stop to do something else, it takes around 20 minutes for you to refocus. So discipline yourself to keep taking action on the task until you finish it. As I mentioned to you, ignore all the transactions. Why it's so hard to focus? Because of our environment. This is another thing that really impacts us. Our brain weren't designed to take many decisions. Our brain were designed only to survive in many conditions, where we look into food and to shelter. We needed just to focus on surviving and protecting ourselves. Back then, we weren't bombarded by 24/7 advertising, shopping apps, social media, endless types of conversations, fast food, and all the rest of it. Nowadays, it's so complicated to keep focus. There is a book that I really, really like, and I would like to recommend all of you. It's called Indistractable, that really helped me minimize my distractions around me and help me focus on this time. And I recommend you to read this book as well. What happens when we feel overwhelmed? The overwhelm itself is taking out time and makes people connect to their emotions. And there are two things that we normally do when we feel overwhelmed. One is procrastinating, and the other one is going so hard. I don't know which one you do more, but it's very important for you to acknowledge what you do. Do you tend to procrastinate, or do you tend to go hard? What I suggest you to do is to aim for a B- or a B+, not an A. Everyone really focus on going to a B-. And once you get the B-, then you can work and shape the things you're doing for a B+, and then an A- and an A+. And this we can translate to our work environment as well. If you have to do a task, try to do the best as you can. For example, myself. I decided to do this live event today. It's not perfect. I'm doing some mistakes, I'm forgetting some things I wanted to say to you, but I'm here doing my best, sharpen my skills. I'm aiming for a B-. And then maybe at the end, with all the interactions, I will have a B+ with you. But next time when I do it over and over and over, I will have my A+. And it's not about judging myself. It's just about deciding to do it, putting the effort, the time to do it, and focusing, and being 100% present. And that's what I wanted to do with you. I want really for you to understand the basics of it. So I would like to go back to this slide of what causes overwhelm. I hope you can see it here. So remember, the circumstances are not the ones that are causing you overwhelm. The thoughts we have around the circumstances that happen in our lives are the ones who are generating the feeling of overwhelm. That's why meditation is so powerful. And we're going to finish our life here today doing a 15-minute meditation together because I want you to be able to control your thoughts. There's nothing better than meditating to help you control your thoughts. If you have this power of controlling your thoughts, the feelings that you're going to have towards your thoughts are totally different. And then your actions will be different, and then the results will be different. So let me give you an example of myself. I'm getting ready to work internationally with clients. It's so important for me to establish a presence on social media. This is a circumstances that happen in my life. And if I were using the thoughts, the traditional thoughts, oh, I will fail, oh my God, I cannot talk in camera, I cannot use the OBS, it's a very difficult program, I cannot, I'm afraid, if I keep having those thoughts, I will never move forward. But instead, I decided to constrain and discipline. No, I'm going to do one life event, and this is the one. And I put it myself, I prepare myself, I ask for help, I'm here sharing my knowledge, I prepare this wonderful meditation for you that you're going to start in a few minutes. And I'm dedicating this specific time to make things happen in my life. I want to establish myself as an international coach, and this is an important way to go. So that's when things started happening in your life, when you constrain and discipline. And when I change the thoughts around the circumstances, I can do it. English is not my first language, but I can do it. I can communicate my message. I know what's working. I tried in my life, I applied in my life, I meditate, I am able to manage well my overwhelm, my stress, and I want to share this knowledge with you. So that's the second layer, the thoughts I'm having about my circumstances. And this is creating a feeling of insurance, a feeling of I can get it done, a feeling of empowerment, a feeling of being supported by all my friends and the people who are here on this live event. And this is generating the action. I'm able here to speak in a different language. That's my third language, not my first. And the results probably will be that soon I'll be growing my presence on all the platforms that I like LinkedIn and YouTube. So I hope this was helpful for you. Just going back, remember the circumstances generate the thoughts generate the feelings generate the actions, and the action generates the results. If you want to do a screenshot of this is the most important slide of my presentation. And I would like to close our time together with a beautiful meditation we're going to do together. And I'm going to invite you to slow down if you can. Maybe you're in the middle of your work, maybe not. Maybe you have the opportunity to lay down. We're going to spend the next 15 minutes doing a calm meditation that will help you get out of overwhelm. Close your eyes. We'll explore what causes overwhelm and how can we release it from our minds and our bodies. Find a quiet and comfortable space. Could be sitting or laying down. Breathe in, hold, and release. Breathe in. Hold a count of 3 and release. Let your hands rest gently on your lap or by your side. Let's take 3 breaths together. Deep breath in, hold, and exhale slowly, letting go any tensions you might have. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. Start to feel in your body, your head, your shoulders, your arms, your belly, your legs, your feet. Imagine now you have roots growing out of your feet and making you feel grounded on the floor. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Now I want you to bring your mind to a moment when you recently felt overwhelmed. Maybe it was a work-related issue, a personal situation, or just the accumulation of many small tasks. As you think about that moment, notice how your body responds. Do you feel a little bit more tense? Perhaps you're feeling tightness in your chest, tension on your shoulders, a heaviness in your mind. Acknowledge these feelings without judgment. Overwhelm, like all emotions, is simply a sign. It's letting you know that you reach your limits, but it's not permanent. We often think that overwhelm is caused by the many tasks and responsibilities we face. But in truth, overwhelm comes from our thoughts about those tasks. It's only our mind telling us stories like, I can do it all, this is too much, I'm going to fail. Please continue to breathe deep in. Notice any of those thoughts that might be running through your mind, because everything you need to do today, simply observe them without engaging. Breathe in, breathe out. Those thoughts are like clouds in your head. Imagine they're just clouds in a clear sky. You can watch them pass without holding on to them. One by one, allow each overwhelming thought to drift away with your exhale. You exhale and then you just pop that cloud. On each inhale, imagine yourself drawing peace and clarity. Your sky is clear. Each breath brings more calm into your body and mind. Now let's bring our attention to the present moment. Often we feel overwhelmed because we are thinking too far ahead or trying to juggle too many things at once. But if you ground yourself on the here and now, focusing simply on the act of breathing like we're doing now, noticing our body, how we're feeling, the future will take care of itself. Right now, the only task we have is to breathe. Now I invite you to silently repeat these affirmations to yourself. I release the need to do everything at once. I trust that I can handle one thing at a time. I'm capable of overcoming challenges with ease and grace. I choose peace in this moment. Overwhelm often freezes us in a place or pushes us into a frantic action. But we can, yes, move forward calmly. Think of one small task or one small decision that you can address today. Something that will help you feel more in control of your life. Hold that task in your mind and breathe in the energy needed to take it on with calm and focus. Remember, it's not about doing everything, it's about taking one step at a time. And after this first one, you're going to choose the second, third, fourth, the fifth, 5 tasks to execute a day. Is possible and you can do it. As we prepare here to the end of this exercise, take a moment to feel gratitude for this time of reflection and release. You've taken an important step in managing overwhelm just by being here, by focus on your thoughts and choosing to let it go. Take one final deep breath in, hold it, and slowly exhale. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. When you're ready, gently open your eyes and bring this sense of calm and clarity with you into the rest of your day. You are capable. You're capable of grounding yourself, and you're free of overwhelm because you can control your thoughts. I'm back here. Thank you so much. It was lovely having all of you here. Nélia, André, Roseli, thank you so much. Patricia, for being here with me today. It's a start of a beautiful journey that I'm embarking on. I love to have accountable friends like you to support me on this journey. It's not gonna be easy, but I'm willing to take the risk, one step at a time, one task at a time, without feeling overwhelmed. And it's so nice to have people with me on this journey. Thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. And in our next live event, will happen in a month. I will be posting here on YouTube and sharing with all of you on LinkedIn, WhatsApp. Thank you so much. Was lovely having you all of here. I hope this was helpful for you, that you enjoyed the meditation. Thank you so much, Rosalie, for everything. Andrea, thank you for the interactions. You have a lot of sure thinking. Me too. And we just have to be aware of our thoughts. We just have to be aware that we can change ourselves. The only person we can change is ourselves. So let's do it. Thank you so much for everything. Bye-bye. Love you all.